Previously, a blank canvas, a stunned classroom, and one young woman who stood up and said, "This is my grandmother's memory. This is what Alzheimer's looks like." After the presentation, the room was still. Nobody moved, nobody spoke. Then Elena heard something she hadn't expected. Her teacher was crying. Professor Hartley had been teaching art for 22 years. She had seen bold work, provocative work, work that challenged and confused, but she had never seen work that made her forget she was a teacher. She gave Elena a grade, the highest possible, and then she said, "Can I speak with you privately, after class?" They sat in the empty classroom with the blank canvas still on the easel between them. And Professor Hartley told Elena something she had never shared with a student before. "My father had dementia," she said. "We lost him over 4 years, not all at once in pieces, each piece harder than the last." She paused. "I never found a way to explain it to people, until today. This is the bravest piece of art I have ever seen in 22 years of teaching," Professor Hartley said. "Not because of what it is, because of what it was willing to be." Elena walked home that evening feeling something she hadn't felt in a long time. Seen, not for her skill, not for her technique, but for the truth she had been carrying alone. By the next morning, word had spread across campus. Someone had posted a photo of the blank canvas from the classroom, just the canvas. No caption, just the image. Then someone added Elena's words. "This is my grandmother's memory. This is what Alzheimer's looks like." Within hours, it was everywhere. Students Elena had never met stopped her in the hallway. One girl said her aunt had Alzheimer's. A boy said his grandfather did. They didn't have anything more to say. They just wanted her to know she wasn't alone either. Then the university art department called. They wanted to feature Elena's piece in the spring exhibition. Elena had one condition. "I want to display it alongside my grandmother's paintings, all of them, from the first masterpieces to the very last one she ever made." There was a pause. Then, "Yes, absolutely yes." Elena spent 3 days in her grandmother's old house, sorting through the archive she had built over years. Every painting dated, every one preserved. Rosa had made 61 paintings in total. 61. She arranged them chronologically on the gallery walls. Early work, bold, magnificent, full of life and color. Then the middle period, slightly softer, the edges less certain but still breathtaking. Then the late paintings, 3 colors, 2 colors, 1, until the wall ended with the blank canvas. White, empty, perfectly whole. Visitors who walked through that gallery weren't looking at paintings. They were walking through a life. They were watching a mind at full bloom, and then watching it let go. Opening night, the gallery was packed. Elena stood in the corner by herself, watching. She had not expected this. She had not expected any of this. She watched a man she didn't know stand in front of the blank canvas for 7 minutes. She watched him reach out as if to touch it, then pull his hand back. She watched him walk away and not quite make it to the door before he broke down. That's when Elena understood what her grandmother had always tried to teach her. Art isn't what you see, it's what it makes you feel. 3 days later, the campus newspaper ran the story on the front page. Then, a local TV station picked it up. Then, a national outlet. Students' blank canvas becomes most powerful art exhibit of the year. Elena printed out the best photos from the exhibition, 40 of them. She put them in a soft blue album and drove to the care home. Rosa was sitting in her chair by the window, the way she always sat now, looking out at the garden, watching but not quite seeing. Elena sat beside her and opened the album slowly. She showed Rosa each photo, the gallery, the crowds, the paintings all together on the wall. Rosa looked at the photos. Her face showed nothing Elena could name. And then Elena turned to a photo of Rosa's early work, the big landscape painting, the one with the yellow meadow and the blue sky stretching to forever, the word she lost first. Rosa went very still, then slowly her hand moved. She reached out and touched the photo, gently, with one finger, the way you touch something precious that you're afraid of breaking. And then Rosa smiled. Not a polite smile, not a confused smile, a real one, the smile Elena remembered from the studio. The smile that meant, "I made that, I was here." Elena held her grandmother's hand. She didn't say anything. There was nothing to say that would be enough, so she just stayed, the way you do when love is the only language left. Driving home, Elena said it out loud for the first time. Into the quiet of the car, to nobody and everybody. You did this, Abuela. You taught me that art isn't about what you put on the canvas. It's about what you make people feel. That night, Elena went back to her dorm room. She stood in front of her desk for a long time. Then she opened the drawer. She took out a brush. It was the first time she had picked up a brush since the night of the diagnosis. Years ago, in another version of her life. She held it for a moment, and it felt like coming home. She painted through the night. One image, two hands, Rosa's hands, one young holding a brush full of paint, one old resting empty on a pale lap, side by side, past and present, memory and loss, art and love. As the sun came up, she set the brush down, and she looked at what she had made. For the first time in years, she felt like an artist again. Rosa Martinez may have forgotten the word for blue, but her granddaughter made sure the world would never forget her colors. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of someone you love, subscribe. Every week, we share stories that remind you what truly matters. You don't want to miss what's coming next.